Hey, how you going, random stranger? I am super keen to get into episodes 5 and 6 of Hibike Euphonium, but first we have to get through this annoying analysis. I'm kidding. Like 98.5% kidding. Obviously, I love digging into the details with you guys, especially with a show like Hibike, where picking up on all the little details, including all of the unspoken ones, I think greatly enhances the enjoyment of the show significantly. So we're going to do that right now. On to the actual anime. Based on little things that were revealed in the last 2 episodes, there are several characters outside of the drama couple Reina and Kumiko, whose backstories I am super curious about and just kind of can't help speculating on. First off, Sapphire. I love how incredibly in tune with her instrument and her music that she is. She is incredibly passionate, but we're seeing a little more each time that attitude applies to her whole character and all of the other areas of her life too, including gacha. She wants to get her hands on a contrabass, a little model contrabass, and she refuses to get the toy from anyone else because otherwise it wouldn't count. It's very endearing, this shoot for the moon, do or die approach to life. It is pure stubbornness, and it also explains a lot why she is so accomplished at her instrument. She also seems to value friendship a lot. The other quote-unquote side character that I'm even more curious about now, even though I have already ranted about how much I love her, is Asuka. Asuka is flamboyant is the word that comes to mind. Like Sapphire, she's very passionate, but so her passion, it expresses itself in this very confident and unflappable demeanor, and sometimes these wildly eccentric speeches. I wondered if Asuka ever considered to become band leader herself. I think she has all the gifts for it. An ability to persuade. She has confidence in herself as a musician, as well as a good judgment for what is the best direction for the band as a whole. But also she has this ability to negotiate and be as democratic as possible. She also seems to command a tad more respect from the other band members compared to Haruka, who, don't get me wrong, is, I think, an excellent band leader. It's just probably because Asuka has that much more of a stronger personality. But then it makes me think that that's a possible reason why Asuka wouldn't want to be leader. It's because being bass section leader allows her maybe more leeway to be a bit more of a dictator. You don't have to deal with as many difficult personalities in a 60+ person band, which is something that can really take away the enjoyment of why most people join band in the first place. It's to play music and not to play politics. Which brings me to Haruka, who I respect so much for genuinely being a good leader. She doesn't talk back when Taki holds her personally responsible for calling the ensemble together, even when they were nowhere near ready. She doesn't point fingers and be like, oh, it's because the rest of them didn't want to practice anymore and so they made me. She doesn't say any of that, just kind of takes it all on her own shoulders. I felt bad for her being stuck between Taki and the other students who at one point expected Haruka to tell him on their behalf that they would be playing at Sunfest no matter what. I think the other students maybe feel they can dictate to Haruka like that because she doesn't push back, or rather she doesn't have the tact that Asuka does, which is why it's perfect she has Asuka as her loyal second command. Like, Asuka doesn't strong arm the section leaders either, but reasons with the band and comes up with these practical stopgap solutions to at least try to push them in the right direction. There's also Kaori. So the trumpet section leader, I think that's also where she comes in. She seems to be quite popular amongst the band members. In episode 4, this bunch, which I think is a combination of trumpeters and trombones and flutes and French horns, so sort of a scattering mix of all the sections, they're all waiting on this girl, the saxophone girl, to report on what's going on with the section leader meeting, and they all seem to be hanging on to or waiting for what Kaori's opinion is. So interestingly, it seems like Kaori has an outsized influence on the rest of the band, and luckily she is also in Haruka's camp. She encourages Haruka and gives her the backup that she needs. So yeah, there must be something about Haruka that draws these powerful, influential people around her and gets them to use their influence on the rest of the band to help her, while her own abilities as a great leader are much more subtle and hidden. Another character I'm very interested in now, the mysterious girl who constantly looks out the window, who we learned was Natsuki Nakagawa. She is the symbol of defeatism, but somehow she's still in the band, even if she was putting in zero effort and like going home as soon as the clock struck 5. However, she didn't say no to Kumiko suggesting that they all try to play together as a bass section. So she's holding out for something. It seems like she just needed an external catalyst to re-spark her passion for playing in a band, and that catalyst or spark just happened to be Kumiko. So I'm very much looking forward to discovering what was behind her initial descent into despair and what made her different. Yay, we can finally start episode 5 now. Sunfest. Let's go. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, play. That scary smile of his, I still find it so weird that it's so serene, but it covers over a whole range of emotions, I'm sure. Hoping for a C cup. This girl, yeah, clearly still has her priorities in order. Kumiko is so evil. Asuka is not Petanko. The setup was so obvious. Look at her. Yeah, it's interesting their dynamic. You know, Asuka takes care of all the front-facing stuff and the confrontational stuff. Hey, there we go. But she did it for Haruka. I love Natsuki's vibe. She's just so... I mean, yeah, she's not gung-ho, but she's very, like, composed. People are simple. Yeah, it's all about getting the incentives right. Whether that be hate or, you know, knowing that you'll actually get to perform at Sunfest. Still talking. Oh, she mentioned it. What was that, like, hair flick? God, that was the weirdest scene ever. I need to go back and just analyze every microsecond of it. Like, again with the Taki sensei thing, it's slightly bordering on obsession now with Reina, but also... But then Kumiko is equally obsessed with Reina. oh, it's such a, I don't even want to think of it as a triangle sort of thing, because it's obviously that's not what they're going for, but are they? I don't know. I feel very weird inside. Oh, their little hats are so cute. Oh, it's the intimidating sandwich. She says that so blandly. Yeah. What's the story? Oh, please don't be because she knew that's where Taki Sensei would be. That's probably it, isn't it? Oh, man. Oh, so that's where she could have gone, but she was like, I don't want to go the band path again. She's a bit hesitant about it. She's got her new peoples now. Oh, that was a significant moment for her. I mean, that's a good reason. Starting from scratch. Yeah, well, it's starting. Her new start. Oh, she's so cute. It's like she was realizing in that moment that her new band and the new friends that she's found, she can actually rebuild again something. Yeah. So many schools. Oh, I hope we get to see the whole performance. He's so nervous. Oh, it is the worst having to watch other schools go up before you. Reina, what are you doing? Oh, okay, she's just like shaking up the band, being like, shut up guys, we're gonna be fine. Reina? Yo, that's so hard having to hold the... Zuki. Hey, you know, it's different to Rika, the style of song that they're playing. It doesn't sound as clean, not to me, but it's good enough. Oh, that was so little that we got. No. What? There is no way that was one full episode. Was that 20 minutes already? Okay, I mean, definitely gonna rewatch like the performances again, even though it was only really a snippet of 10 seconds each for each school. Well, really just Rika and Katawaji. But it's such a huge difference from when we first heard them tune, like before their first ensemble that they did for Taki Sensei, and now. So I can only imagine how much better they're gonna get in the coming episodes after Sunfest. It was also really touching that Kumiko when she met her friend from her previous school and had a choice sort of between going to see her old friends and sort of reestablishing that connection there and staying with her new band. Not that you have to cut ties, obviously, with your old friends when you're at a new school, but it was just symbolic of how she's really found a new home. And she had no expectations, right? No expectations of enjoying band again at Kataoji. Like, she probably chose Kataoji because they didn't have a special focus on music, which is obviously why all her other friends chose the other school. And I think even though she said she didn't really choose Kataoji for any specific reason, I think one of the reasons was because she kind of wanted to get away from the musical aspect. But now she's like, you know, really happy that she's got back with her youth. She realizes that with Reina and Hazuki and Sapphire and all the other band members that she's gotten to know, that they actually have something there that they can work on together and aim high. So yeah, I can't believe this is episode 5 already, and we've gotten so much development for Kumiko already. That's kind of amazing. Just really good writing. All right, on to episode 6. Hopefully this one doesn't go by so quickly, but I'm assuming it will. It's just so good, the show. Okay, if you guys are ready, let's do this in 3, 2, 1, play.